Authorities say that the safety of riders was put at risk. Now, Uber has been pulled up in London before. Major cities around the world are demanding accountability from ride-hailing apps. Is Uber being held to the same standards in India as well? The company has some tough questions to answer. Let's have a look at our next report. Booking an Uber or a cab through any other taxi aggregator app has become a part of modern life. It's convenient, economical and hassle-free. No wonder then that Uber has had a meteoric rise since its inception. But in London, the world's biggest taxi aggregator service has run into some serious problems. London's Transport Authority has decided not to renew Uber's license to operate in the city. It has cited Uber's repeated safety failures and has described Uber as not fit and proper to be a license holder. So what's going wrong for Uber? Authorities have found that passengers were being allocated cabs where drivers were unauthorized or uninsured. London's Mayor Sadiq Khan has conceded that the move is unpopular among Uber users, but is necessary to keep Londoners safe.
There have been at least 14,000 journeys where unauthorised drivers have been driving people across London. So these are people who, if you're an Uber user, you've got into a car thinking driver A is driving you, but it's not driver A, it's somebody else. Separately, TfL have discovered that there have been examples where drivers who've had their licence suspended or dismissed have manipulated Uber's system to carry on driving people around, and that's taken a real risk with Londoners' safety and security.
But Uber cabs won't go off the streets of London immediately. Uber will file an appeal and cabs will ply until all legal options are exhausted. Londoners have reacted to this ban with cautious approval.
The only problem I've ever had is where a car has turned up that hasn't been the same car on a different licence and everything like that, and the guys just said, knew everything about me but had a completely different car. So that was probably the only thing, but I've never experienced, feeling super unsafe myself.
Around 3.5 million people in London use the Uber app, and many have reacted angrily to the decision by Transport for London to cancel the license. One person said that they had given up their car because it was easier and more cost-effective to use Uber, ultimately taking more cars off the road. So the big question is, how will around 3 million people get around when their ride is gone?
It's not just London. In recent years, Uber has hit roadblocks the world over. Bulgaria suspended Uber services in 2015 for unfair practices for allowing its drivers to work without an official license. In the year 2017, Denmark made fare meters and seat occupancy sensors mandatory for all taxi services. Uber didn't comply and was taken off the roads. Hungary went a step further. It passed a legislation blocking the ride-sharing app for unfair practices. In Australia, Uber operates everywhere except the Northern Territory. The reason? Refusal to pay $300 per car as license fee. Uber has been found guilty on home ground too. It's barred in some American cities. In Austin, Texas, the company had to pull operations after refusing to fingerprint all prospective drivers. What about India, where it is the second biggest cab aggregator after Ola? Uber operates in 40 cities and is dogged by problems of all descriptions. Gender sensitization of drivers remains a big challenge. Uber has cut incentives to drivers and stopped commissions, plunging them into a spiraling debt trap. Security of customers and safety of their data remains a grey area. Cab aggregator services have become an inherent part of our lives. But if they don't address safety concerns, they are in for a bumpy ride in India too. With Mandy Clark in London, Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.